Recording. All right, welcome to the GFFL podcast. It's week 2. Let's try to get a little screen share going on. And we're gonna me and Jonathan are gonna talk about some things. We couldn't get in touch with Michael today, but we wanted to rush something out just to have something. You know what I mean? Tell him, John.
We're just trying to please the audio listeners here. That's all we're trying to do, service the audio listeners. This isn't much of a podcast. It's kind of just a look in for the other 10 other league owners of what a daily conversation between you and I looks like, really.
That's right. Yeah. All right, so let's break it down. We're just gonna fly through this show script. Biggest surprise of week 1, John. Do you anything jump out to you week 1 that just kind of didn't go the way you thought it would?
Uh, I feel like this is a trick. I mean, the clear thing that surprised me was my own loss. That didn't go the way I wanted it to.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was rough. The three combined points between Burrow and Higgins was upsetting, and to still even have like a remote, not real chance, but to lose by 18, that was whatever. So that was surprising, but I was actually surprised that Chris's team performed as well as it did without Cup. Like, he's missing like some of his biggest pieces, and his team still scored like 138 or something.
Yeah, he had to put Gabriel Davis in there. Gave him a 5.2.
Right. That's the strength of that kind of build, in my opinion, that he can, like, the Eagles didn't look that great. Hurts didn't play his best game. Akers obviously like fell into the end zone with 20 yards, but that team being that strong on a bad week, that's kind of why I think Chris's team is set up so well.
Right.
What about
My surprise of week 1 is how bad the classics did. With his build, what we were thinking it was going to be his weakness was playing those later games when the bye weeks came up or when players started to get injured. But then he comes out and puts 83 up at full strength week 1. It was pretty surprising to me. I don't know if my worry meter went up, but what'd you think about that?
Yeah, Christian told me that he'd outscore me by like a few hundred points this year, and my team did about as bad as I think they could have done this week, and his team somehow like flopped even harder, even with Jefferson doing his normal Jefferson thing. So yeah, that was, I don't know how he wasn't alarmed seeing that, and he was like really high on AJ Dillon apparently, like as his flex person this year. I remember him saying that his flexes were better than mine at some point, comparing them. So yeah, I think that had to have set off some alarm bells for him, because the whole thing was that starting line is so strong, and for week 1 week 1 was weird, but for that to be a realistic possibility for him, that's kind of scary.
Yeah. But let's talk about the trades that went down this week. I would see what happened after the week 1 all fell through. Let's start with the one that got a little shattered up. Can you hear Jason breathing in the background?
Just a little bit. Love him
though. The one that got kind of overshadowed was you and Jeff. You came out here. You went and got your guy back. It was Ayuk and Ayuk and Zay Jones is what you got, some scraps, and you gave Godwin, Dotson, and Kyron Williams. What was the thought process there? What were we thinking?
Yeah, I'm glad that everything happened the way it did to kind of let this get overshadowed, because I was getting shit on a little bit right away by some people with the panic button. And I'm a little bit torn on this, because it does seem like a panic on paper, because if you look at most dynasty rankings, Dotson and Ayuk are pretty much even. And like, so in the sense, adding Godwin to that does feel like a pretty big overpay. But to set the background for everybody, Jeff and I have like made a couple trades this summer. And one of my takes this summer that I told him when we made a Higgins trade was I prefer Ayuk to Higgins, like in a vacuum. Like, I'd rather have Ayuk. Now, like, dynasty value, fantasy value, you can't make that trade straight up. I realize that nobody would, so I'm not going to. But like, that was my take all summer. So I went in. The trade ended up being like working out to where I sent them Ayuk, and I was like super upset about it. And then week 1 comes around. I have to watch Ayuk dropped 32 on me. I
Mhm.
bet on Ayuk. He helped me win $200 in my pick'ems this week. So
Oh, you're really attached.
right, like I felt super week one, like obviously sucked because it was so fluky and my team pooped out.
Uh-huh.
That was unfortunate, and to get beat by my little brother, whatever. But
Mhm.
the being torn on watching Ayuk and feeling that confliction like in a positive way for him, or feeling the that he could be so good this year, and then not having him, I was like, I don't give a shit if they're even in the dynasty rankings. Like, I'll add Godwin. I want him back. So it was a panic in a sense that I could have waited a bit for. It's never smart to trade for somebody after a 30-point week, but I just wanted to get my guy back. So fuck it.
I mean, I don't hate it. On the surface, it looks like you traded two receivers in a tier for a receiver in the same tier.
Yeah.
But Godwin doesn't have the upside IU has, and maybe Dotson does, but he has way more risk. So you got the young upside, and you kind of got the best of both worlds. With that IU piece, and I don't hate it. You got to go get your guys sometimes. Michael just texted. He's driving to
Yeah.
Emerald Isle. No, he won't be able to make it. All right. So the big trade of the week, the bomb, the one that woke Taylor Ray up. Josh Jacobs for 2026 first. I'd like to say Christian panicked over week one and had to go out and get a guy, but I don't think he did anything except click the accept button. What do you think about this deal? I know it's been talked about a ton. I'm gonna summarize it for why I think people were a little upset. I think the market in this league, there's with the format that everyone gets a shot this year, and it being so early in the year, it's week one just happened. There's no studs available. No, you go talk to somebody, you're like, oh, I'm interested in Garrett Wilson, or I'm interested in Higgins, oh, I'm interested in this guy. They're gonna ask you for your similar piece in return. There's no studs for package going on right now.
Right.
But then all of a sudden, one just a guy that nobody thought was available just gets sent over to the classics for fairly cheap. It's not the most groundbreaking, like absurd deal without the context, but it's cheap, and just that's the way I kind of see it. People were just like, "Whoa, what the hell? We didn't know that was a possibility," and then the classics benefit from it, and no one else got a shot too.
Correct. Yeah. No, I feel the same way. Regardless, like I understand the pup's reasoning of like trying to get out from under Jacobs if they feel
Yeah,
like he's the cliff is coming maybe at the end of this year or whatever. But
right.
the and no one can fault. I was pissed when I saw when I saw it immediately because oh, Christian got another like steal, whatever. If I had 2026 first, I would be trying to get we talked about it, like a Christian Kirk piece, like
Right, yeah.
that
Mhm,
seems like fair value for those two picks that far away.
mhm.
Um, this is coming from a guy who doesn't have a first until like 2030 because I've already traded them away. So
Yeah.
I yeah, the fact that it just like popped up like that, I was like, what the fuck? Like they could have gotten so much more if they did an auction, anything they could have gotten. And their reasoning was that Jacobs has constantly been undervalued in the league, which they're probably right. Like everybody's
Yeah.
always had that like Jacobs and Demont, kind of those players that like
Right.
they're good for fantasy, but people stopped saying those things after last year when Jacob turned
Oh
into
yeah.
like a top five
It
back.
it was undeniable. Like how many
Exactly.
points? I mean, 330 bombs and a 40 bomb, that completely just dismantled the idea that he was like a boring guy that's going to get you 10 points, and he's usable because he stays on the field.
Right.
Yeah.
Um, I
um
I don't think that the I know the pups, and it doesn't matter how bad they're bad. I mean, I put that in quotes because their team doesn't look bad. It looks worse to me now without Jacobs, but
yeah.
they somehow managed to get there. They're like the Vogler's team that it never looks that good, but it gets there. So not
Yeah.
worried. I'm not worried about the pups. And for Christian, it hurts his picks going forward. And even though he does get Jacobs, that does not solve his depth problem to me. The dude has no depth. If anybody gets injured and it's a long season, he's got some aging running backs.
Uh-huh.
If somebody goes down and he's got to plug AJ Dillon in again, like his team just has holes. Every team has holes, but I mean, it could help him pay off this year. I just don't know that that's like a franchise saving like move
Well,
by any means.
I think it's going to come down to, I mean, just this team with Jacobs here instead of Pierce is just so much scarier when
Yeah.
they're forced to start Pierce and maybe even Algier, or well, if Judy can get healthy, when they're forced to start those guys and Pacheco, you never know what you're going to get out of him because he's not a part of the passing game. When
Mhm.
they're forced to start those guys, the team gets a lot worse. And then I think come trade deadline, when they realize, hey, we need one more stud, they're going to realize you can't turn those 2026 firsts back into a stud. Like, it's just not going to happen.
Exactly. Yeah,
So,
I agree.
what else did we have on the show sheet?
Uh, did you? Oh, you gave your biggest.
Oh, I
surprise.
wanted to know who your was. Yeah, we did this last week. If not you, who wins the league? And I was going to ask for you and Michael's, but he's not here. So who's your, if you're not you, who wins the league?
We still didn't talk about one big trade that happened, also involving me. But the team that I think is the favorite is Chris. He does have some depth problems. Like he now has Javonte Williams as his RB2, which obviously I still like Javonte. I think he's a great dynasty back.
Mhm.
Has some depth problems. He's got Cup on the bench right now, so he's having to start the Gabe Davis, the Michael Gallup types. I just think that his team is built in a way with the elite quarterback. He's got Eckler. Oh, that reminds me, Eckler's out this week, so he's going to have to do something there at
Yeah.
running back. But I just think that he has so many borderline guaranteed points at wide receiver that he
Mhm.
can afford to take a small hit at running back. When Eckler does
Yeah.
play, he's like going for 130, 140 a week. That's just tough. So I still think every team in this league has holes, but I just think that Chris's is the strongest.
Yeah. I agree. I think that might have been my answer. It was definitely, if it wasn't mine, I'd pick somebody else because I think Matt or Taylor said Chris. But all right, yeah, I forgot about the Garrett Wilson, the Waddle Garrett Wilson trade. That was a big one. We had a big first week, or first 1-2 week, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So you went back and got Wilson. You just kind of saw the window of his availability.
Uh-huh.
Um, what do you think about that? Do you think were you making a play for the future? Do you think it's going to be able to be okay now? What's your thoughts there?
Yeah, it was a little bit of both. I got so much shit for this deal, and I just feel like if anybody else had Garrett Wilson, like an offer with Garrett Wilson in their
Oh,
inbox,
it'd
then
be untouchable.
they would just
Yeah.
take it. So I got some flack for it. I really don't care. I never wanted to move Garrett Wilson. I got what I saw as a franchise changing deal offer from Chris for
Hmm.
Garrett Wilson when I was able to get DK and Javante and Deontay and
Yeah.
just like
Elijah.
it was twist my arm. So I never Wilson could have been a lock forever. I think if there's one wide receiver in the NFL right now that has the ability to break into that Jefferson Chase tier, for me is Garrett
Hmm.
Wilson.
I've been
Uh,
saying that. Yeah.
yeah, so just to get that guy, yeah, I took the hit at running back. I think Williams is better than Akers and will be, but it just seemed like a chance to get my guy back. Took it. I didn't think it was possible. So yeah, that didn't. I got a panic button from Matt on that. Don't think that's a panic move at all. I think Wilson's good enough to overcome, like he did it last year with
Yeah.
rookie of the year, serviceable piece, has those big enough weeks to help me win. And then I've built my team in a way that if T. Higgins doesn't give me a zero, I have the wide receiver production, I think, to
Oh yeah.
salvage the growing pains that there's going to be this year again with Zach Wilson. So
I
yeah,
think I think Wilson's going to be quarterback. I mean, I think he's potentially quarterback proof as well. He had a good rookie season with awful quarterbacks and no consistency.
right.
If Zach Williams or Zach Wilson, if he's playing consistently enough, well enough consistently, they keep him in, then Wilson's going to be fine in my opinion. And if he's playing as horrible as he would have to play for Wilson to suck, they're going to bring in somebody else. And
Yeah, I agree.
I think he's going to be fine this year, especially all these ancillary pieces that are in the passing game are not good, and they were going to have a higher target share because they're Rodgers guys. Those Lazard, Cobb, the tight ends. That should be a heavy target share for Wilson. It's going to be wheels up, I think. This week is going to be the haters are going to be chirping after this week against Trevon Diggs and the Dallas defense, but I think there's a light at the end of the tunnel. It's going to work out just fine. Let's get to these matchups this week, and we'll kind of wrap it up.
All right.
All right. First one that pops up on my screen, we got the Huntsmen and the Pups. We're in a miracle situation again. We're not quite prepared to be winning games like this, but I felt a lot better before Hawkinson got both the touchdowns. I don't know, man. I'm always giving myself a miracle chance. I think that 18% chance is a pretty accurate thing, actually. We just need some guys to break out. But if I'm betting, it's going to be Wolf Pups easily. Matchup win there, running backs win, wide receivers win. Yeah, I mean, I could have a chance in the flex department for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I hate to bet against you, but this is the thing about the Pups that people got to give them respect even when it's like people are shitting on them, because they can go and make that trade. Everybody's jumping on them, blah, blah, blah. And their team just respond. Like Hawkinson goes for 25 on Thursday night out of their tight end. Like, that's why I don't count the Pups out ever. So yeah, I hate to go against you. I think it is the miracle range. I think there's always a chance. We saw how fluky week 1 was, but yeah, if you're gonna make me bet money, I'll take the Pups.
All right, let's go to a candidate for game of the week. We got the 1-0 Labs versus the 1-0 Blazers. They both started off slow on Thursday night. Madison looked like garbage. AJ Brown's crying for targets while they're up by 20. So we'll cancel them out. What do you think about this matchup?
It's actually like I think it probably is the game of the week type of a matchup. I still probably give the edge to Matt. The Kelsey, I don't know. The Blazers have it. If Aaron Jones,
I'm going Blazers this week.
Oh gosh, if Aaron Jones was it fully healthy, I probably would.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I just think he didn't practice on Friday, so I don't think he's going to play. Matt does have some tough matchups, like McLaurin on Sertain.
Chubb and Cooper in that division slogger. Kittle against the Rams, that game could be over before he gets involved, or he could. I mean, it's going to be interesting. I think
it'll be closer than people expect or Matt expects, but I mean,
this guy's going to bounce back this week, Lamar.
Oh yeah, 100%. I kind of like Herbert. I mean, that might be a DFS kind of play for me, and against that pass funnel with no Eckler. So, yeah, this is going to be a great game.
I've got Blazers.
Okay, I'll take Matt. It's close though.
You got Matt. Okay, fair enough. All right, we got this game. It was going to be a miracle range game again, but Michael made it real interesting real quick.
Yeah, dude.
God, dude, with that Swift thing happening, we've all said it. When Michael's team hits in a week, it's gonna hit, and they're gonna beat you. They win. With how good Swift played, just so randomly after that bounce back, I think it's just a preview of Michael's team hitting this week. So everyone's gonna play out of their mind. He might be the leading scorer this week. You hopped on the train tracks at the wrong time, John.
I went to bed with like 12 minutes to go in the fourth on Thursday, and Swift was already at like 15 or something, and I was like, damn, that's a great game out of Swift. Like, he is running. Then I woke up and saw he had 27, and I was like, are you you joking?
You were just crossing town, bro. You had to go over the train tracks. You just hopped on there, and then wrong time, bro.
I don't feel a lot of like I don't feel a lot of good vibes right now. I'm gonna pick me still and just hope that my guys pull through. But this is exactly what we said. Michael's team is built this way that you don't want to have to play him on any given week. And that's what's so fun about this format. And Michael's built it that way. So would I be surprised if his guys all go off? No, especially how Swift set the tone. I'm just, I'm gonna believe in my guys. So
You've
we'll
got the
see.
better team. Don't get me wrong. I've got the hunch, bro. I'm
That's
going
fair.
green
It's
team.
fair. It's fair.
You picking yourself?
I'm gonna pick me. I gotta pick me. I gotta have some
Okay.
faith in my guys.
All right, we got the two tankers from last year. We got Big Papa versus Miles. Neither one of them tanking this year, thankfully. That was gross to watch last year. Who you got in this one? We got the Brees and Roshan, Bijan, James Cook. These teams
Ridley.
are built fairly
Yeah,
similar.
yeah.
Puka, what's this guy?
Who is? Oh, Puka. That's
Who
Vic's
is
baby.
that?
Victor loves some Puka Nakua. Uh, this is also, yeah, I think this is also going to be a close one. It's nice to see some close games this week, or hopefully.
Yeah.
Give me Miles. I think that the Giants bounce back. Daniel Jones bounce back. He's got Ridley. He's got Bijan, who looked incredible week one. Vic's got some guys too. Don't get me wrong. I just think I'm gonna lead Miles here.
I gotta go Miles as well, bro. Brees versus Dallas. Yeah.
They say they're going to keep him on a pitch count still, even though he
Right.
looked incredible.
And then London versus Jair, and then Puka versus San Fran. I gotta go Miles because of the
And
matchups.
Puka oblique injury or something won't be 100%.
It's the
Week
wrong
one
week.
was,
It's the wrong week for this, but I'm going Miles.
yeah, same.
Let's get down to this one. This one kicked off hot.
Yeah,
Hot. We
yeah.
got Mean Machine versus the Classics. It's 35.4 to 24.9 so far. We got Jefferson, 150. You can just kind of pencil that in every week.
Yeah.
Goddard just had a tight end game, whatever, usable. Kicker went off for Jeff, and then Addison had a real nice game.
Yeah.
It's a good start. How do you think this one's going to play out, though?
I think this is also going to be a close one. It's weird. Freaking 8 targets or whatever Goddard got. You would hope that he could turn that into more than the 10 yards or whatever he got. So
Yeah,
whatever. It works at tight end. The running backs are the only thing that if Jeffrey had better running backs, I would say that his team can pull this off.
Why did they usually put like a projection right here? For some reason they put the ceilings for both of Jeffrey's guys. 11 for Demont and 14 for Connor. Why are they doing that for him?
Yeah, Jeffrey doing the streaming the defense against the Cardinals, but he's also playing his running back against those defenses. I don't know why he's done that back-to-back weeks. And I guess
you got to play Josh Kelly over Connor, bro.
I think he should at least consider that, honestly. I don't know. I don't want to root against.
Let me tell you how this one's going to go down, bro.
Go ahead.
Monday night, we're going into it. Watson's the only guy left. It's going to be Deshaun Watson versus 23.5 points, and he's going to come up with 19. Classics win by 3.5.
I think it'll be close. Christian made that move for Jacobs. I could just see everything kind of like falling into place this week for him.
Wheels up.
Yeah, I would love to see the upset though. I really would. I just think Jeff needs to look at his lineup. I think. I don't know if he's making all the right moves, but who knows?
Yeah, he needs to talk to Brad. Brad's the brains over there.
Yep, Brad runs the operation there.
All right, last one, another game of the week candidate. This one's going to be good. Cubs versus Express. Those poor Express got Chuba Hubbard in there, bro.
What's this sitting at right now? Because Hurts got what, 24?
It's 23 to 25. Same amount of people playing remaining, but it was a quarterback versus a receiver.
Yeah.
This is going to be another close one, bro.
No Deontay, right? So
No
does he have
Deontay.
Pickens?
We got Waddle, Adams, Gabe's playing again. Oh wait, we're on a different thing. Yeah, so Pickens has upside. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I don't.
There's
Um.
Taylor's got some Monday night pieces, and Chris has Cleveland D on Monday night. I think this
Yeah.
one's gonna go down to it also, bro.
I do too. You know what? Give me. I can't. I mean, I said Chris is my favorite, and he still is. Uh, but no Eckler. So I don't know. I think a lot of this rides on Gibbs. Honestly,
Yeah.
if Gibbs, and a lot of people in DFS are saying that this is a smash like week for him, he finally does it. If Gibbs
Mhm.
can get him 20, then I think Taylor has a real shot at this. But a part of me still wants to go with like the floor established that Chris has with that build. So
Right.
you know what? Let me say Taylor. Let me just put a little good vibes out there for Taylor
I'm
right now.
going I'm going Chris, bro. I think he's gonna come out with this one.
We don't
Um,
agree on it.
I think Taylor's gotta this I don't know about the Andrews and Zay Flowers in I don't know if it's a thing yet where you can play them both.
So you think Lamar has a bounce back, but he
Oh,
can't.
come on, bro. He runs the offense through Mandrews.
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I
So
just yeah.
Zay got a ton of targets, bro. And is one, it was because Andrews wasn't there. Two, is because I'm blanking. They played the Texans, right?
Yes.
It was Stingley was on Odell Beckham. I think everybody's good on that offense, bro. I'm still not sure what it's gonna look like, and I'm not quite sold to say like Zay's the head honcho at receiver week in and week out.
I
He
just
looked
think that,
amazing. He's quick. He's awesome with the ball in his hands, but I just don't know if he's like the main target guy every week.
yeah, I don't disagree with that. I just think Zay probably I'd prefer him over Gabe Davis even this week. Is Taylor playing Rashad White?
No, that's who he's supposed to play over Zay,
Oh.
in my
Why are you
opinion.
I'm still trying to understand the Zay Flowers things. He does have not he's playing the Najee and Pickens. So that is what it is. But
Take a pick, bro. You said the Cubs?
what's the projection? I can't even see it. 130, 129.
129.82 to 130.42.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna stick with it. I
Okay,
don't know.
I've got the Express. Unless the Cubs play Rashad White, then I got the Cubs.
So we did not agree on much this week.
No, we
So
disagree.
there's actually like a lot of I mean, it's all projections, but a lot of projected close games this week.
Yeah, this one, I mean, one blowout, one, two, close enough, close enough. Yeah, everything's supposed to be close. I want to see some Monday night action this week. Last week we had no games on the line going into Monday night.
Nothing mattered. Yeah, I
Gross.
agree.
Um,
Let's try to stress some people out.
let's take some closing thoughts. My closing thought on the league is what? My closing thought on the league is everybody overreacts so much this year. Has it always been like that? I can't remember last year, but man, there's some overreactions going on. These guys, I don't know how it's going to look this year. Are we going to overreact week to week? Are we going to start to balance out? What? Oh, Jacobs
I,
gets sold because he puts up a nine. DJ Moore sucks because of 1 week. Tyreek Hill's going to go off every week apparently. Puka Nakua's an all-star. Like, what's
so we only did one other season of this. Everybody makes it to the playoffs, right?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I don't exactly remember. Shit, was that the year I won? Was that 2019?
No, it was 2 years ago.
Oh, okay, never mind. All right.
Yeah. It
I,
was
I don't,
it was it not the pups?
I don't remember. 2 years ago would have been. Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do think that there's been a lot of reactions to week one. I think that in theory, because everyone makes it, there should be less reacting this year. But I also think that it feels more wide open this year than the couple years past. Like I really
Yeah.
could see like 4 or 5 teams. I'm not in the whole like Matt Lawson thinks that his team and one other team are the only legit teams and everybody else sucks. Like I don't think that's right at all. I
Mhm.
think it's way more balanced than and that's why people are going to be more aggressive in making the moves they want to make on a week to
Right.
week. It's just to give them a shot.
Well, the top two teams, aside from Chris, and this is why Chris is my favorite. I think there's four top teams. You're one of my favorites too to win this year, but from the ones that were top teams last year, it's going like year in year out, classics and labs. Every year they keep the same build with these same running backs. It makes their as they keep getting older and older, man, those teams are more and more fragile. So like there's more of a
Yep.
chance of something not playing out right towards the end of the season. Chris
No,
is a wide receiver built team. You're a wide receiver built team. I think that's why y'all are gonna have a great shot towards the end. But it could, I mean, it's in anybody's game at this point.
no, that's why I like it, and that's kind of why I've made the moves I've made so far because I do think it's open, and if you have a shot, if you're in the window, like whether or not these guys realize it, like the what's Victor's team? Big Papa, he's coming, you know.
Oh my
Uh,
God.
so like yeah, I could see it being a little crazy this year as people try to just get that title before uh Victor comes with like his already good team with
Mhm.
how 9, 10 firsts he has next year. Uh
Right.
he's building something crazy over there. So yeah, I think it could be pretty crazy on a week to week basis, people making moves. Like that right there is
That's a lot.
it's a lot, and he's got like he's got Brees, he's got the receivers already kind of with
Mhm.
JSN and
Let
Olave.
me close on this, bro. My last thought that I want out of you is why do you think you're everyone's favorite person to hate this year, bro? You never came out in the chat and sought out violence.
I don't know, man. I think I probably just have a punchable face, and people that that's probably it. So I'm cool. I'm cool being hated on. Uh, it's all good.
All right. Well, we'll close it out at that. We apologize. Michael's not here. We'll be better next
Yes,
week. But
sorry, guys. I know it
we wanted to
sucks.
throw something out at you guys. All right. Good luck this week, and
Yeah.
we'll be back next week
Hell yeah.
if I can figure this out. Stop video. No, now you're still here. Oh, I didn't do it.
You want me to just leave?
No.
Oh, stop
Okay.
recording.
This is it. I found it.
See ya.